Hey guys, it's November 8th, 2021. I'm in the VA's underground parking lot. I just got my COVID booster, and I also got my flu shot. Got both of them, same arm. So, yeah, just like I did for the first COVID shots, I'm going to keep track of how I feel throughout the day, make a video out of it, you know, for anyone who's interested. But I'm hoping for no reactions, please, because my last video, well, it was an adventure. 9:55 p.m. Same day I got the shot. 12 hours later, starting to get some shivers, but not as bad as the second shot, this booster shot, and starting to feel some aches set in, but it might be the flu shot. I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly from the second shot and what it did, I'm better off just sleeping this off. So while I normally stay up late till like midnight on this day doing notes, I'm just going to sleep right now and maybe wake up and do the notes I would have done tonight. So put my notes in the computer tomorrow morning. It won't matter, but yeah, it's starting to feel like this is not a normal night. Like the aches and the just drained and the tired feeling that I feel. November 9th, 2:25 a.m. It feels like it should be morning. I feel like I just got some incredible sleep. So just like the second time around, for both me and my brother, who's genetically related to me, around that 11 or 12 hour mark, half a day mark, is when I had that reaction start to set in. And I knew it for what it was because of the second time around. And so I got in this hoodie, and I got underneath a mink blanket. Faux mink, by the way. World's worst SJW. Anyways, yeah, at around 10:20, I started to get the shakes in my face and like all over my body, the breakout little shakes, and it wasn't as terrible as the second shot. I think it might have to do with the lower dosage, maybe. I would say it was about a quarter as bad as I remember it. I mean, it was like April. But while I was doing these shakes, I made the conscious decision to not do 1 or 2 Tylenol to break the fever, just to they say that that reaction is what gets your immune system going, and if you stop it, then like you don't get as much protection. So I was like, no, I want it all, and I can still live through this part. It hasn't been as bad. So for the last 4 hours, I've been like shaking in my sleep, and then suddenly I wake up and it's all over. And I check my phone, and it's 2:20. This is like 7 minutes ago now. And I'm like, it feels like it should be morning. And it's more than just like daylight savings time. There's like, I feel like I slept a lot more than I did. And it was horrible shakes in my sleep. I woke myself up shaking a bunch of times, so I don't understand why I feel so rested. But I did have a very vivid dream that was like recurring. Like I'd wake myself up, and then like I'd go back to sleep, and I would go right back to it. It was like a movie was playing out in front of my eyes. Like I was watching a big production Hollywood movie, and there was like different stacks of rooms in a pyramid, right? And this pyramid had overlays of like the map of the eastern seaboard between New York and New Jersey and a couple of surrounding states, but like the main scene that would be like the familiar scene for people would be like that, like a bunch of different scenes that stack up like a pyramid, and each one looks like it's in a different room. And the major plot point that I remember from this, it was like a full movie, but the one that I woke up on that I can still kind of remember in my head is, so the governor of New York in the movie was having trouble funding research for tracking down who was to blame for spreading around COVID. And in the movie, COVID was a lot worse than, not as far as like the effects on people, but just like the way that they were treating it was like really, really fucking harsh. Like lockdown scenario type deal where like if you had it and you spread it to somebody else, like they're tracing you down, and there's ramifications, right? And so this program was the tracing program to try to track people down and stop this COVID, which in the movie, just I got this feeling like not only was the reaction of people worse, but like the effects of that virus were worse. And it reminded me of like the movie Songbird, where they were kind of looking towards the future as to what is COVID going to be as they were writing their script, and it comes out like within this pandemic, and they got a couple things wrong. We don't have UV lights in our mailbox to sterilize our mail. That didn't happen. So they got a few things wrong, right? This movie was like that. It was like it was written from the point of view, like at the beginning of the pandemic, where somebody in their mind thought people are going to take this shit seriously, and the virus is going to have like far more deadly consequences. So that's how this movie was playing out. But the reason why the New York governor in the movie didn't have the funding to fund the tracing was the Republicans in his state like cut off the funding, so he couldn't even have a crew to trace. And so some of the people that they're trying to trace, they were like hopping between New Jersey and New York. So the governor of New Jersey calls up the governor of New York, and they hatch this plan where they wrote each state, the ability to cross that border just for the pandemic purposes in order to trace the virus, right? And the other states around them would not do this because they were worried about their own re-elections, those governors. But the way that they got funding for the New York team was they turned it into a federal, like a cross state borders thing, and they brought in the FBI, and then the president went ahead and funded it, right? This was a major plot point in the movie that played out in my head. If anybody wants that, because you're writing a COVID story, like a novel or a screenplay, you can have it, because I feel weird, and I want no part of that thing. It felt too real, hyper real, like I was watching it 3D. Like the especially that pyramid of the different scenes, like it was just jumping out at me, and that part was almost like the intro to a UFC pay-per-view where the flags are all becoming part of the UFC logo, only backwards. The this pyramid had like rooms that would like be 3D coming at you, and yeah, now I feel like I just went through an adventure. You know, a little bit of tripping there, a little bit of tripping, and I feel like my body is like sending the signals of like, well, that was something, but it's over. Like, I feel tired in my limbs, but like it's not like the ache that I had before. I feel like it's over. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back to sleep, but I feel like completely awake. So, I'll cap this video off with one more entry, I guess, just to let you guys know, like, if any other things come up. Oh! I had a couple of blood rushes to this part of my head right here, where I could hear them. Like, when you can hear a swoosh, and it was kind of like those little eggs they fill with sand in some songs. Like, it was like a shh, and it was temple veins and arteries, and I could hear my heartbeat doing that. Shh, 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 and that only happened a few times. I used willpower to not shake in order to get through this, because if you give in to the shakes, it's much worse. So it's kind of like when you get I don't know, chicken pox, and you're told to put the calamine lotion on the bumps and don't scratch them. That's how I felt. Like, I knew that if I gave in to like my legs shaking, it would lock up with like the muscles fighting each other, and it'd be a lot worse and cramped. So and yeah, I think I need to drink some water. A little parched. So I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, 4:30 p.m. the next day. I was able to go back to sleep for another like 4 hours. Then I woke up, had a little bit of a headache, but I've made it through my workday, and I feel fine now. So that's the end of my vaccine booster shot experience diary vlog thing.